Hey angels, come on in. Come in. I'm so happy that you're here. I look forward to our visits. Are you having trouble getting relaxed for sleep? I thought maybe you would. Mondays can be really hard. So I thought maybe I could read to you again. We could do the attitude of gratitude, do a few of those. If we have time, we can do one of the chicken soup stories. So if you're new here, thank you for giving me a chance. I appreciate it. I hope you like what you see. And if you do, feel free to like, to comment, share. Definitely subscribe, please. If you're returning, thank you guys. You know how much I appreciate you. And just so everybody's aware, we're getting really close to the 5,000 mark, guys. So I will definitely be doing a video. I can't believe it. I remember saying that when I was at like 100. If I ever get to 5,000, I'll do a giveaway. And we're so close. And I'm still doing my postcard exchange. So the address for my P.O. box is in the description. And I'll definitely return a postcard to anyone who sends me one. There might even be a little treat inside. And if we get closer to holidays, we'll do holiday card exchanges too. And I'm still doing a Q&A, so send your questions. I'm going to do the cutoff this Friday. If you have any questions for me, just send them to my email, which is in the description, but it's Angelonmyshoulderasmr@gmail.com. Okay, so let's get into getting you relaxed and ready for sleep. So I'm gonna shake things up a little bit. Alright, so first thing we do have to do is get our stuff ready. So if you're gonna need a blanket, get it ready and pick where you want to be. Whether it's a couch, a chair, a hammock, cushions on the floor, whatever. Get what you need ready. Get your blanket, pillow, especially a neck pillow, you guys, if you can find one, or roll up a towel, or even a really soft shirt, just so your neck is supported. Okay, and then we're going to do lighting. And you can have the lighting however you want. Light, dark, sliver, whatever. Electric candles, with the batteries, are great. I love mine that I got at Amazon, but you can get yours even anywhere. The dollar store has really nice ones too. I'm gonna get a few of them. The only thing I say is no lit candles. Not when you're relaxing, not when you're sleeping or trying to sleep. It's too dangerous. And if you like candles while you're taking a bath, consider using the battery ones, or just don't let them anywhere near your shower curtains. That's the only thing I say, okay? That's all. Auntie Angel worries about our little angels. Alright, so you've got that ready. Alright, now get comfy where you are, where you've chosen. And I want you to really put yourself into it, whether you're on your side, your butt, or your back, whatever. So that you make sure you're so snuggy, that word. Now, for those that are new, we always do our breathing. And the reason we do this, we do 3 sets. It's so our brain makes it a habit, so that when we start our breathing, whether it's for relaxation, for sleep, or to calm ourselves, whether anxiety or panic attack is starting to rise up, trying to slow everything down helps. So when we do these deep breathing, our brain sends a message. Oh, we're breathing? Everybody slow down, to the rest of our body. So we breathe in through our nose for a count of 4. We gently hold for a count of 4. And we breathe out through our mouth for a count of 4. If you can only do 1 or 2, that's completely up to you. Okay, this is for you guys. I just want you guys safe, alright? Oh, okay. Maximizing minimalism. Okay. And the quote is, "We are not what we own. We are what we do, what we think, and who we love." Francine J., The Joy of Less, a Minimalist Living Guide. Okay. 2 years ago, I woke up to the oddest sound. It sounded like we were next to a rushing river. I wasn't prepared for what I saw when I looked outside. There was no longer a street, or a sidewalk, or porch steps. All of it had been replaced by rushing, muddy water several feet high. We lost our chest freezers, laundry machines, everything in our basement. The things we held onto never worked the same again, including our cars. Still, most things were replaceable. We thought it was a financial hit that we'd survive. But then the insurance agent came through, and we learned the worst part. Our house had depreciated to the point where we were upside down on our mortgage. We owed the bank more than half of what the house was worth. We had to decide. Did we stay in a money pit, needing a ton of work in a town quickly going downhill and unsafe for our children? Or did we lose everything we had already put into it, a decade of paying our mortgage, to try to find somewhere better and start all over? It was terrifying to abruptly face a no-win situation, the decision that would change the course of our lives and the lives of our children. We chose to take the leap. My mother found a wonderful town that we fell in love with when visiting her. We instantly knew we wanted to raise our children there, but it was in Indiana. We were 14 hours away in Pennsylvania. Going there would mean uprooting our children, leaving the rest of our family members, our friends, moving to a place we only saw for a total of 5 days, and spending every cent of our savings. I was scared to move somewhere new. I mourned the idea of leaving the house we had our children in, the only home they had ever known. Could I give up walking through the nursery and pointing to the exact spot I was sitting in when I felt my daughter move for the first time, while her daddy sat next to me building her crib? I was heartsick over this situation, and I wasn't one who knew how to take chances. I liked detailed plans, security, and assurances. We had none of those. Despite it all, we leaped. We put our house up for sale, found an apartment a mile from my mother, and scheduled a moving truck. We tried unsuccessfully to get my husband a job before we moved. Everyone said, just interview when you get to Indiana, which meant we were making a huge move to a completely new state with no financial security. We prayed every night that this would work. We took comfort in little signs that it was meant to be, that the calling in our hearts to go meant everything would work out. For months, we lived on faith alone. We repeated to ourselves that the family was the most important. As long as we had each other, everything would fall into place. The move was riddled with sacrifice for all of us. Not only to lose our home we loved, but to downsize drastically. We were leaving an 1,800 square foot home for a 1,000-foot apartment. The moving truck could only fit so much. It meant parting with half of everything we owned. It was a lot of sacrifice for the chance at a better life, but we pushed on. My husband and I both expected to dislike the tiny apartment, and in between until we could find a new home. However, we instantly fell in love with the small place. We spent the first 3 days with no furniture, sleeping as a family in sleeping bags on the floor, and we realized how good it felt not to be surrounded by so much stuff. We felt a little sad when the moving truck arrived. Starting fresh felt good. Minimalizing everything was like a deep breath of the country air, which was now outside our window. Suddenly, we were thrilled to have gotten rid of so many items that we had clung to before. Living in a place that had open space and was easy to keep clean, felt better than anything we had parted with. We got a storage unit and moved half of the items from the moving truck to it. It took weeks for my husband to find work while we watched the numbers in our bank account dwindle. We were learning to love living with less, but we were afraid of how much less we'd have to live with. Right in the middle of COVID, many places were shutting down. Everyone was struggling, and assistance programs were wiped out. I was stressing, I was praying. I hoped that since everything felt so right here, it was the correct move. But the weeks stretched out without many callbacks, and people hiring were often out of the office due to positive COVID tests. In the meantime, between finding a new job and learning to be minimalists, we learned more. Without so many toys, the kids wanted to spend time with us and chat more. We played board games at night. We went on bike rides to explore the new town up close. We took extra time to make little moments into teaching moments. We did free things like fishing or cooking outdoors, catching fireflies, playing outside, and reading together as a family. We started our new life by becoming closer as a family, with no time to spare now that we had fewer things in our new environment. Without the clutter, there was room to be grateful for each other and to count our every blessing. Those habits stuck. Even after my husband found the exact job that we hoped for, and our children made lots of new friends, we got more involved in our community. We continued to put family time first. Every weekend we have one-on-one play dates where my husband takes one child, I take the other, and we do whatever we want. We go on family dates. We started playing more board games and getting better at the old ones. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. We lost a lot in the flood and more in the move, but we gained so much more. Jill Keller. Sorry for the coughing. I hope you guys are asleep. If not, I'll do one more and hopefully there'll be no coughing. Let's put our faith in opening it. No, we read that one, I know that. No, we read that one too. What's this one? A hostess's blessings. God has blessed us with an amazing family, friends, and work colleagues that have been my joy, my support, and my sanity. I don't know what I'd do without them. Josie Lauren said that. Okay, guys, so we're going to read this one. It's not long. I am 72 years young. I live on my monthly Social Security check and a small monthly veterans benefit. I'm grateful for those monthly blessings and the occasional check from books I have written. But things are financially tight for me. Recently, I realized I was depleting the small savings account I have rather than add to it. I also realized that it was time to earn some extra income. So, I prayed for guidance and then did an online search for a local job. I have zero experience in the food industry, but there it was staring me in the face. Hostess for restaurant, full or part-time available. I definitely wanted part-time. So I texted hostess to the number in the ad and waited all of 15 seconds to hear back. I filled out their online form. Within minutes, I received a call to schedule an in-person interview the next day. I have since learned that restaurants and many other industries are desperate for people willing to work. It had been 43 years since I had been on a job interview. I dressed professionally and headed for my appointment. Paul seemed to be a courteous young man. Oops, I forget that almost everyone is young in my eyes. He was probably 30-something, although he looked 14 to me. I did all right with the interview. He asked me if I could come that week for training. Sure, I said, I'm ready to start right now. I have to admit it took a little longer to get the hang of the job than it did the 20-something prospective hostesses, at least the technology part. But with some help from one of those kind-hearted almost grown-ups, I figured it out. I kept reminding myself that I'm an intelligent, well-educated person. No seating software is going to get the better of me. I work 4-hour shifts. That's what all my body will take right now. At the end of the day, my back hurts, my knee hurts, my ankles hurt, and my feet feel like 1,000 hot needles are picking them. But my heart feels full. The money I earn has been a huge blessing. I'm no longer dipping into my savings. And there's other blessings too. I'm blessed that God sent me an answer to prayers about my finances. I am proud that I've become confident in the job that I do. I now know for sure I'm not too old to learn something new. And my boss says I work circles around those young whippersnappers. It's nice to be appreciated. I think I'm even helping some of those almost adults gain a different perspective on life, or at least offering them a listening ear. I enjoy smiling and chatting with customers. Almost all are nice in return. I try to notice those who seem low, exhausted, or upset, and I give them an extra smile. I try to express sincere gratitude for their patronage. There are plenty of other restaurants they could frequent. We have several customers who, like me, are more than 70 years old. They live alone, so they come into the restaurant every day for a hot meal and a little human interaction. We know they are going to take time, maybe read a magazine or a book while enjoying their meals. They're genuinely happy to see me and the waitstaff. I hope I'm enriching their lives just a little bit when I stop and chat with them, showing them a little extra attention and letting them know I'm happy to see them. We all need interaction with people. I try to find the closest seat for those who use walkers or wheelchairs. Their gratitude for such a simple act of kindness is amazing. When I occasionally feel down myself, they make me laugh. We lift each other up. That's what friends do. And although I may not know or remember their names, I consider these regular customers to be my friends. Most of the other employees are considerably younger than me. I'm learning a great deal about the mindset and social characteristics of their generation, which happens to include my oldest grandchildren. That makes me smarter as I pray for them, and more patient as I speak with them. The restaurant is a beautiful mix of senior adults, young adults, middle-aged business people, married couples, retired couples, even some families with 4 or 5 young kids. We are brown, black, and white, and a lovely oasis of opportunity to show kindness. I never thought of any restaurant in that way before working here. I do my job in such a way as to bless each person I interact with during the day. They, in return, make my day brighter. They give me a great reason for going to work other than my financial needs. Yep, God was right. This little part-time job has been a good thing for me in more ways than one. Jean Matthew Hall. So my darlings, I hope you like that. I hope you're all asleep and you're ready to cross over into dreamland.